Hello friends. Do you know how did Steve Jobs save Apple from bankruptcy? In 1997, Apple was on the edge of bankruptcy with a bloated product line, declining market share and losses nearing $1 billion. Steve Jobs, who co-founded Apple in 1976 but was removed and fired from the company in 1985, returned back as an interim CEO after Apple acquired his company called as Next. His return was a biggest turnaround in the history of Apple's because of his focus on vision, discipline, and product strategic decisions that he took during that period of time. When he returned back, Apple was struggling with a lack of focus. Its product portfolio included dozens of confusing Macintosh models, peripherals, and software, diluting its brand and confusing customers. The company lacked a clear vision, and competitors like Microsoft were dominating the personal computing market. Jobs recognized this and accepted the defeat that we have lost in the personal computing product as a category. Immediately after his joining back, he focused and took a drastic decision. He reduced the Apple's product portfolio to focus on a very few high quality products only. Upon his return, he famously drew a 2 by 2 grid to simplify it into four categories: consumer and professional desktops and laptops. Rest everything was cut down. He eliminated numerous products, including unprofitable peripherals and redundant Mac models, focusing resources only on core strengths. This led to the introduction of iMac G3 in 1998, which brought back Apple into a profit making business. They were able to sell around 800,000 units in its first year after launching it in 1998. That was Apple's comeback. So, first lesson is survival and then bring the profit back, do a comeback. Excellent strategy by Apple. Remember his quotation: focus is about saying and understanding what not to do than what you should do, right? Number two, his focus was on prioritizing design and user experience. He emphasized heavily on intuitive, aesthetically pleasing products, collaborating closely with a designer called as John Ivey at that point of time. He believed that design was as critical as technology, and that's why iMac G3's bold, user-friendly design set it apart from the beige, boxy PCs of that era. Jobs' obsession with simplicity extended to software as well, ensuring that the graphic user interfaces were premium. This focus continued with other products like iPod and iPhone in 2007, which prioritized seamless user experience. Because of his design driven approach, Apple was a differentiated product from its competitors. It was not like a Me Too product, like it differentiated itself from rest of the brands like Microsoft and others in the industry, fostering customer loyalty, right? iMac's success re-established Apple as a brand synonymous with innovation and style, paving the way for future hits. Third important decision and strategic decision that he took is creating an ecosystem so that the customers are integrated and hooked within your ecosystem. He launched and revolutionized and disrupted the music industry with iPod and iTunes. In 2001, he introduced the product called as iPod. As you know, right, it was a very minimalistic design and a click wheel interface, right, paired with iTunes, a digital music store launched in 2003. He disrupted the music industry. He negotiated with all the record labels to offer legal, affordable downloads, addressing piracy concerns while making music accessible. And successfully, iPod, they were able to sell around 400 million units by 2014. The iTunes ecosystem locked the users into Apple's platform, boosting brand loyalty and setting the stage for future success, right? That is what is creating an ecosystem and hooking the users within your own platform, right? Now, this is an important decision and a very strategic and an innovative and a courageous approach that he took in 2007. He knew very well that we have lost in the personal computing space, although he created a differentiator with the design. But in 2007, he took a bold risk by entering in the smartphone product category and launched iPhone. And everybody remembers that famous launch speech. He introduced the product with four things: combined a phone, music player, and an internet device into one touchscreen device, right? Redefining the smartphone industry. Jobs' insistence on a single polished product without a physical keyboard set a new standard for mobile devices, which we all enjoy today. Not only that, he went a step further and introduced App Store concept in 2008, which was later on copied by other players like Google Play Store. Further enhanced the iPhone's value by enabling third-party app development. And as you know, Apple dominated in the smartphone category, right? With over 2.3 billion units sold by 2023. Not only that, he wanted to control the customer experience, customer journey of how you sell these phones, right? So he introduced the concept of Apple stores. And in 2001, he introduced that concept of Apple store, designed to control the entire customer journey. Unlike typical retail, the Apple stores focused on education, support, and brand immersion, with features like the Genius Bar for technical help, right? That became a key differentiator, driving sales and customer loyalty. By 2023, my friends, Apple operated over 500 stores globally, generating significant revenue and reinforcing the brand's premium image, right? So that's how Steve Jobs was able to save Apple from bankruptcy to survival in 1998 by bringing back focus and then globally dominating in certain product categories, as you have seen from iPod, iTunes to iPhone, right? And Apple's market capitalization exceeded $350 billion when he retired, when he left the company as a CEO in 2011. And by 2023, it surpassed around $3 trillion, making it the world's most valuable organization. So, friends, lessons from Jobs' strategy is focus on simplicity. Number two, prioritize user experience. Number three, build an ecosystem, create an integrated platform that lock in your customers and drive the loyalty, right? Number four, focus on innovation and take bold risks, like the way he entered into a new product category in 2007 by launching iPhone, right? Number five is control the experience, control the end-to-end customer journey, right? He launched the Apple stores as well because he wanted his products to be sold and to be shown to the customers in a different way rather than a typical retail store, right? And think long term, right? He also invested in software and services to ensure the sustained growth, right? So thank you so much, friends, for listening to me patiently today. It was a long discussion on how did Steve Jobs saved Apple from bankruptcy and bring it back to global dominance. Thanks a lot, friends. See you in the next discussion.